Well, welcome everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you can see my slides. Welcome to the morning session of BioC 2020, where it's introducing a new advisory board that has been mentioned in some previous talks, the Community Advisory Board. And we're really lucky to have a number of Community Advisory Board members with us here today. So welcome everyone. So my name is Matt Ritchie and I co-chair the Community Advisory Board with Aedin, Culhane, and oops, let me try and advance the slide. Oh, there we go. And as you have heard from some previous talks, in the beginning for Bioconductor, there was, I guess, Robert Gentleman, some enthusiastic people about developing open source software for genomic analysis. And the first kind of governance structure for that was a technical advisory board, which met on and off and then more regularly and has recently expanded to include more members. And I guess over the years, the technical advisory board's desk, unlike this desk that you see in this logo, got quite loaded with lots of tasks, not only thinking of the infrastructure and how to fund the core team, but also organizing community events and other things, which are also incredibly important. So last year, a decision was taken to move some of those activities to a new board, and that is what we're here to talk to you about today, and that's the new Community Advisory Board, established just earlier this year. And I guess in addition to having great software, which is the goal of Bioconductor, I guess the Community Advisory Board's goal is to think about the people that underpin that software, users, developers, and make sure that they can connect and interact with each other and learn from each other and develop along the pathway that Martin mentioned in his talk, from kind of user to developer, and then eventually one day to leaders who like to be members of these boards to help guide how the project goes. So the Community Advisory Board's main purpose is set up in a advisory board governance document, and the main two goals are empowering users and developer communities by coordinating training and outreach activities, including wonderful events like this, BioC 2020 and other Bioconductor annual conferences held around the world, and making sure that the participation of people in the Bioconductor community is respectful of people's backgrounds, people's experience levels, so that everyone can enjoy contributing their knowledge and learning from others in a friendly and welcoming environment. So if you want to read more about the advisory board, there's a link there at the bottom. And the minutes of our monthly meetings go online, so you can read the sorts of things we're discussing and thinking about and provide feedback. So the board was established through an expression of interest process, so people could nominate to be a member, and we had heaps of really great nominations. They were voted on by the technical advisory board, and this is the current lineup of board members, most of whom are on the call today. There are three exceptions. We've got Benilton Carvalho, who's not with us. He's based at University of Campinas in Brazil. Saskia Freytag from Perth in Australia, who's very prominent in the Australian Ladies scene, set up one of the early establishers of the first ladies group in Melbourne, and also Yagub Adam, who's originally from Sudan, just finished his PhD, University of Sao Paulo in Brazil, and is moving back to Nigeria as a postdoc. So the board is very well distributed geographically. I guess there's always someone awake in some time zone thinking about things, working on Bioconductor data analysis, and thinking about ways to develop the Bioconductor community. So I wanted to give you a flavor of some of the types of events that people on the board have been organizing. So obviously there's annual conferences that have been happening for many years that the board hopefully can help contribute to. So BioC 2020, the North American meetings, BioC Europe happens each year, usually in December, and also over the past few years, Bioconductor meetings in Asia that have happened mostly in Australia, but also in Tokyo and hopefully in other places in Asia. So meetups, Aedin is a key organizer in Bioconductor meetups, which I'll mention in the next slide. Leo has been, and others have done an amazing job getting more people enthused in using and developing Bioconductor packages in Mexico. So that's really cool. I've got a slide on that soon as well. The Biopackathon, Kozo is taking the lead on to again do a similar type of job in Japan, getting more users, kind of thinking about putting their code and together in packages that other people can use to get a larger user base in Japan. Yagub is really passionate about having more training around Bioconductor in Africa through the H3A Bionet network of training that happens there. So through webinars and in-person training as well. And of course, Saskia and also Laurie are Ladies, and obviously connections to the Ladies community is very valuable as well to again make sure there are plenty of women, other genders who are currently underrepresented as package developers and possibly as users as well of Bioconductor are brought into the community. So if we start with meetups, Aedin and Levi organized Boston and New York Bioconductor meetups for genomics, which have quite a lot of members and are a very successful event. And I guess we're interested to think of other parts of the world where this meetup format might work. So I guess if you're based somewhere where there's a good concentration of people using Bioconductor, I'm sure that's a great ingredient to having a successful meetup environment in terms of having lots of people who'll be keen to get together on a regular basis to discuss Bioconductor and new developments. And this is part of the R Meetup Consortium, which has lots of members in lots of countries. And you can see there, a few of those red dots are Bioconductor specific meetups. And the membership for this is paid for, and some sponsorship is provided through R Consortium. So if people want to set up a meetup in their own part of the world, then definitely get in touch with Aedin or Levi who have experience in that. Biopackathon, which is Kozo's, one of Kozo, Nishida, who's a board member's ideas, who's on this, in this meeting as well, I think. And also Koki Tsuzuyaki, who's a really prolific Bioconductor developer based in Japan, and other people based at RIKEN, are very keen to get more people involved and have a monthly meetup, which is about getting people interested and learning about how to package their work up for Bioconductor, create new packages and contribute, with the eventual goal of having more interested Bioconductor developers in Japan and hosting a future Bioconductor Asia meeting there, hopefully next year. And Bioconductor Asia for this year was meant to be in Beijing in October and will now be run as an online event virtually, just like BioC 2020. And if you want to find out more about that event, which is going to be held in October, please go to the BioC Asia website. All right, next, Leo's work with an enthusiastic band of fellow R developers in Mexico. So Leo and others have developed the CDSB, which is the Community for Bioinformatics Software Development. You can follow them on Twitter. And a plug for the Birds of a Feather session today to learn more about their efforts, which have really been to get more people from Latin America involved in going from being R users to hopefully Bioconductor developers. So they ran a really successful week-long workshop in 2018 in Cuernavaca, and then last year some people who developed software from there were able to present that work at BioC 2019 in New York, and it's really exciting to see a package and a preprint from some participants in that, and hopefully there'll be more of that in the future. And I think next week is the next follow-up in that series of an online meeting that Leo is again hosting. So hopefully people are able to participate in that as well. They also have Slack and a community blog and provide scholarships to help people attend conferences like this. So that's a really great initiative, and we're hoping that more sorts of initiatives like this can happen in other parts of the world. Something I forgot to mention on the previous slide and also this slide is these trainings are given in Japanese in the case of Kozo or in Spanish in the case of Leo's work. So it's great to have training in different languages to support different user communities. All right, Our Ladies is of course an amazing international organization to promote gender diversity in our community. There are many chapters and Saskia and Laurie are both very enthusiastic Our Ladies in their different parts of the world. And the goal here, I guess, is for Bioconductor events to be promoted through the Our Ladies network, and hopefully as more Our Ladies become enthusiastic about genomic analysis, there'll be more developers of Bioconductor software from that community as well. So that's very exciting, and we're very happy to have Saskia and Laurie representing Our Ladies on our board. Stickers are fun. So I guess genomic researchers are often accused of being stamp collectors. So why not become a sticker collector too? So for those who are not aware, there's a really great collection of hex stickers. So logo for different Bioconductor packages available through BioC Stickers. There's about 110 different package specific logos at the moment that you can download. And Joe Rayner is our graphic designer in residence who is responsible for designing a lot of these really cool conference and board specific logos. So Joe has designed the logo for this conference and past meetings, and also for our community and technical advisory board. So thanks, Joe, for that work. And I'm sure anyone's contributions of their own stickers to this GitHub repository will be gratefully received. And maybe Joe has some great tips on the essence of designing a cool logo for your package that he can share as well. Getting people using Bioconductor is obviously key to have great training material. So we wanted to highlight some of the ways of getting help or getting access to training material for from different Bioconductor events. So one great way is to go to the Bioconductor website and check out this help courses link, which has slides, video recordings where available, workshop material on GitHub where available, so that you can keep track of the different events that are happening in different parts of the world and play them back at your own convenience at a time zone that's friendly for you. Meetings like this, BioC 2020, are also an awesome way of getting access to top quality workshop material. And what's really nice about the workshops offered through this event is that they're kind of graded to different levels for different, depending on whether you're a beginner to a really experienced package developer. You can kind of go by these 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 level as a guide to what material might be most suitable for your kind of skill level. And then hopefully progress through those different levels, either after the event or at future Bioconductor conferences as well. And finally, Susan Holmes, who is very famous for microbiome analysis and is an amazing teacher, has created with Wolfgang Huber an amazing resource for, I guess, starting really from the ground up for beginners, biologists especially, who kind of need to learn, in addition to how to use Bioconductor, maybe how to use R, and what are some of the statistical methods that underpin a lot of the software that we use routinely in genomics. So there's a link there that's really awesome in that it has, a link to the book, which is available for free, and also videos and lectures that kind of step through different chapters of the book to help beginners as well. So there's a lot of awesome training material, and hopefully people can find material that's suitable for their level. I wanted to touch on briefly a community survey that I put together last year to try and gather a bit of data from Bioconductor users and developers to get a sense of whether people were generally satisfied with the resources provided or if there are areas for improvement. So the survey was conducted between October and December last year. There was a notice that went out on the Bioconductor support site And there's a full analysis of that available from this link here. So to give you a snapshot of what the survey recovered, there were 117 respondents. The average respondent was male in a postdoc position based in Europe. They identified as a pure dry lab researcher based in academia, had been using R for 5 to 10 years and Bioconductor for 2 to 5 years. Mostly using base R with some tidyverse as well, interacting with R using RStudio in the main, and also using Python for data analysis as well. So some summaries of these results. The main uses that people have of Bioconductor were RNA-seq, which is maybe not surprising. Some of the most popular packages in Bioconductor deal with this type of data. Single cell genomics, also super popular, and also dealing with DNA-seq data. Most people reported that they were able to find help through the vignette and the manual or the support site or good old Google. Doesn't hurt to Google to find help as well. Satisfaction levels were generally high across many areas that were covered. Perhaps the one that scored lowest was actually training material, where there was a tie between okay and satisfied. So perhaps we can improve how the training material is provided in a way that kind of steps people through material that's best suited for them. At the moment, I guess there's probably a lot of material on the Bioconductor side, and maybe navigating that can be a bit tricky. Barriers for people contributing software. Understanding S4 was mentioned a few times in some of the free text responses. And some of the resources that I guess are being developed are perhaps underutilized or not as well advertised as others. So Experiment Hub was an example where a lot of people were not really sure. Some suggestions for new activities included hackathons, and people might be aware that recently there was a BioC Checkathon that Martin Morgan and Laurie and others hosted, which is a great new activity in that space. And general areas to improve, I guess, outreach. There's certainly underrepresentation from females in terms of the survey respondents, and I'm sure analysis of the package developers would also reflect that if gender was looked at there. There's also, I guess, a lower number of wet lab researchers responding. So most people responding saying, no, I purely do dry lab research. So obviously there's a lot of area for growth there if we can get more wet lab researchers interested in using Bioconductor routinely. In terms of training materials, I guess highlighting to people the awesome resource that Experiment Hub is, and helping navigate, teach people about S4 are areas that we could certainly add to as well. So our community advisory board has a number of working groups. So there's obviously working groups around organizing conferences. Each main conference has a organizing committee to make sure that those events run smoothly. Also, we've formed a code of conduct committee to make sure that there's a project-wide policy that covers as well as in-person events, communication through Slack, support side, and other means. Diversity inclusion is another working group that we're hoping to set up, or maybe we have already. I can't remember. I think that was, no, it's on our to-do list. So as a new board, there's a lot of things on our to-do list, but these are our first ideas of working groups that are in the process of being set up, and they're more under development. And we're obviously happy to hear suggestions on particular areas people would like more help with, more training materials with, or less training materials with, and other things. You can check out the governance document from this link to get an idea of how the board is organized. So we're always very happy to receive feedback. The community advisory board has a website where we have names listed and our email contact listed. Through Slack, if you can sign up to the BioC community Slack, there's a community advisory board channel in the Slack that you can post feedback on as well. And also Laurie has very kindly set up a Google calendar which the goal of which is to try and keep track of events in many different time zones happening across the world, so we don't forget if we're meant to be somewhere or there's a cool event on that we might be able to catch because it's in our time zone. So check out the About tab from the Bioconductor support site or Bioconductor website, and you can find out how to access some of this information. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention and really happy to take questions. I think there's a poll that's happening via the conference Pathable platform. So hopefully there are some questions that have popped up. Please add new questions and maybe we'll go through some of them in the time that's remaining, which is 20 minutes or so, if my watch is right. So yeah, I'll pause there.
Should we introduce ourselves, Matt?
That's a great idea. Please do. I'll stop sharing this and yes, please go around and introduce.
So I'm just going to, if I sort of ask people from just the Pathable website. So the first person on the Pathable website is Laurie.
Hey everyone, I'm Laurie Shepard. I'm currently a member of the Bioconductor core team in Buffalo, New York with Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. And I'm really happy to be a member of the CAB.
Susan Holmes.
Hi, I'm in California right now, but I was in Europe, and I like being asked to travel. So I traveled a lot and given Our Ladies talks in India and in Europe, and I was hoping to go to Australia, but all of that is on hold. But I'm happy to do Zoom meetings and Zoom meetups. I think it's an opportunity for us to meet, and the interface makes it slightly difficult because as a community, we're going to have to work harder to get together. It's much easier in person, but it's also an opportunity because it doesn't involve traveling.
Matt.
Hello, yes. So my name's Matt Ritchie. You just heard me blab on for a little while there. So I'm based in Melbourne, Australia, and I've been helping organise Bioconductor Asia events for the last few years. And so that was through that I became a member of the Technical Advisory Board and more recently the Community Advisory Board.
I'm next. I'm Aedin Kalhan. I'm based in Boston. I've been helping organise the Bioconductor annual meetings for a few years now. I'm also on the tab, and I also organise the local Boston Bioconductor for Genomics meetup, which is about 800 members, and I'm also involved in the local Our Ladies. So, yeah. Kozo.
Hi, I'm Kozo Nishida from Japan. I am a software developer at RIKEN Osaka branch. I have interest in pathway visualization and have developed software related to Sitescape. That's all.
Joe.
So hi everybody. So my name is Johannes. I'm working at Eurac research in Bolzano, Italy. Usually when I'm not doing stickers, I work on metabolomics data and mass spectrometry data in general. Thanks.
And Leo.
Hi, I'm Leonardo Torres. Leo, okay. I work in Baltimore, Maryland, in the US, analyzing brain gene expression data at the Lieber Institute for Brain Development. But what got me here was my volunteer work with people in Mexico for trying to help people make the transition from R user to R developer and Bioconductor contributor. And so I'll talk more about that later. Thank you.
Should we answer the questions on the Slack? And
that sounds like a good idea. So how all right, I found it. Oh, cool. The polls of the people have spoken. How can I become a member of CAB? Well, I'm glad that you asked. So The goal is for each year, there'll be a call for people to join. So I think that the total membership is about 15. So we can expand up to that stage, that size. So I'd be hoping for this year, an application process, perhaps towards the end of the year, where people can apply, put in an expression of interest. And then I assume the current, I'm not actually sure what the voting procedure is. I assume the current board will then vote on candidates. And then the goal is that those terms will be maybe two years, I think, or maybe it's 3 years. I can't remember what the terms say, and so the goal is so there'll be good turnover from the board. So new people can definitely come in, bring their expertise, their enthusiasm for building community in their different part of the globe. And yeah, that would be exciting to have new members.
The next question is, what steps should I take to hold a local BioC conference?
That is a great question. I'm not sure I have a good answer for that. I guess get in touch with the CAB in case we can help with sponsorship or other things. And I guess there's a lot of corporate knowledge of organizing conferences previously. So definitely reach out to the CAB, and I'm sure we can help you with that, help put in touch with sponsors, amongst other things.
I think we can also probably advertise on the events calendar.
I'd also mention that there are certain regulations regarding the use of the logo and the code of conduct that I think we want to be sure are in place when folks are proposing such conferences.
Yeah. I think that those are mechanisms that we don't have yet in place, so it's a good thing that we start thinking about those. The next question is there any support that I can get from the CAB, budget allocation for running a Bioconductor event, sticker printing fees, reward for making teaching materials?
I think I can weigh in on that, although there are probably other sources. There is a foundation for Bioconductor located in Massachusetts, North America. And there are funds that are available to support some of those types of activities from the foundation. I think establishing a budget for the CAB so that it could take care of some of these concerns is on our agenda.
Yeah, and I think one of the questions for the TAB was, do we get paid? And the answer is no. None of us are getting paid.
Yeah, I'd also mention that there's a significant oversight of the foundation and any of these other organizations that are registered as foundations by the government. So that information is actually publicly available, who's getting compensated, who spends what, and so forth. And as Aedin says, there is no compensation for any of the members.
So is there some kind of expertise that you would like to see more strongly represented in the Bioconductor community?
Let's say maybe more than that is like increasing the diversity and like increasing access to joining Bioconductor, right? So Matt mentioned on his survey that there's a need for more introductory material. So, or like organizing it better. So I think those things are of high interest to all of us.
Yeah, it might also be worth mentioning in that regard the initiative that Laurent Gatteau has taken to connect Bioconductor to the carpentries so that expertise in pedagogy per se is folded in to the project. I'd also say personally that it would be this idea of wet lab outreach is quite important in knowing how to interact with folks whose primary concerns are not computational in nature. I think would be a real benefit to the project.
So I think the next two questions are related, which is how is the CAB promoting diversity, and will there be a Bioconductor ladies group? Do our ladies here want to talk about that, and does other people want to talk about diversity?
I mean, I think the idea of a BioC Ladies is a fantastic idea. We can certainly look into that. I think maybe just branching off the Our Ladies and getting more groups and more of us presenting Bioconductor material to the existing Our Ladies groups would probably be a better first step so that there's not a fractured approach. But certainly trying to get more of the Bioconductor community that are willing to present at the Our Ladies would be fantastic.
I think speaking to at least the Boston Our Ladies, it's not that big. It probably only has about 20 people. So I don't think the Boston Our Ladies would actually support a BioC Ladies group as well.
And same with Buffalo. We do a lot of combined events with the Buffalo R group that just started, just trying to promote R in the community to start with.
Does it make sense in this virtual age to think about a BioC Ladies group that is purely virtual and spans geography?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to speak a little bit to the diversity, I guess I think mostly a lot of diversity in terms of like geographical diversity for the project. So I guess it's really exciting to have Yagub, who's passionate about promoting Bioconductor in Africa and has some great networks that hopefully we can provide training through that are pre-existing. There's a lot of great material that exists, and then maybe even the carpentries aspect as well. It's like that's another way of bringing material to different groups. Perhaps that might be super valuable for kind of bringing biologists along. They're kind of learning R, then they're kind of learning some Bioconductor as well. I don't know.
Like from the CDSD perspective, we've have a lot of allies with the Our Ladies. Like initially, Maria Teresa from Our Ladies Mexico City was one of our guest instructors for 2018. And several of the students at the events in Mexico have then co-founded Our Ladies chapters in Mexico. So we try to like explain what Our Ladies is and like how they can get started. And that, it's for us, it's just a win-win in the end, even if it's not under the Bioconductor name, because it's just about like increasing access to these technologies.
One thing I found, I think, is that if like with the meetup that we did, at least it was really important what photographs you put up on the site, if just to try to attract. And also we invited a lot of speakers that were ladies, that were people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and different institutes, and both academia and pharma, basically just to try to expand and increase, to have all of the Boston groups come together. And it was we definitely did a thing to put photographs up where the diversity in the group actually was represented. And I think compared to other software-based meetup groups in Boston, we're actually doing a much better job at getting at least gender diversity and other types of diversity, I think. So I'm quite happy about that. Or we're doing a little bit better. Kozo, do you want to speak there about engaging people in Japan and how different that might be?
There is no woman in Japanese community. And there is very small number of participants in our hackathon. And we are trying to add more educational materials for newbies.
I think the BioPackathon is really brilliant.
Yes, I think.
I guess something common to Japan and Mexico is that there's and like Latin America and other places, that there's a big demand for material in like other languages. That takes a lot of effort to try, like, because materials in English are being updated every time, right? And so I don't know how sustainable sometimes all of this is, but like maybe just introductory materials can be translated.
Do you have any
kind of like the
experience with professional translators, what the fee structure would be like? Because perhaps we could help with that in a systematic way.
I have no experience with with any of that. I've always translated things myself. So yeah, I haven't looked into professional translators.
I think we have to finish at this minute. Is that right, Aedin? There was a slide I know that you wanted to show that I think I just got rid of my slide deck.
Oh, I thought you might want to hear the results of the poll, which I
Oh,
on
yes,
Go.
sorry, go.
So it looks like the most urgent priority, and I presume the poll, the results will keep updating. 22% of people want the website, the training resources on a new welcome mat and the website, and 19% would like training for new users and more events in person, meetups, hackathons, and local meetings. Those are the top 3 priorities.
That's great. Thank you everyone for participating in the poll.
Do you want to do the slide or?
Okay, let me find the slide again. Sorry.
We can do it after. We can do it after the awards.
Yeah, maybe you do that. That's probably a good.
Yes.
This is kind of very exciting times because it's time to reveal the inaugural Bioconductor Award winners. And I will just say a few words about the awards, and then I will hand over to Simone to actually reveal the winners. So the purpose of these awards was to recognize individuals or groups who kind of, who make outstanding contributions to the Bioconductor project and the community. And this can be in various ways. So everything from package development to support, excellent documentation, outreach, training, to enabling new scientific technologies or informatic technologies to be used within the project. So the way this worked was that earlier this year, we launched a kind of a broad call for nominations from the community. And we got over 80 nominations, which is really nice, for 30 or so different nominees. And based on these nominations, the final 4 awardees that we will hear about now were selected by the award committee, which consists of the community advisory board together with the conference organization committee. So with that, without further ado, I will leave the word to Simone, who will reveal the winners.
Hi, Charlotte. I would like to share my screen. Good morning, Boston. Hello, everyone in all countries and time zones all over the world. I am Simone from the EMBL Heidelberg. I work together with Wolfgang Huber. It is my great pleasure to present the Bioconductor Awards for the very first time on behalf of the Bioconductor Awards Evaluation Committee. We have 4 awardees this year, and each of them will receive 1 award made of glass, where there is their names, the Bioconductor logo, and the name of the award engraved. They will also receive a certificate. Both the awards and the certificates will be sent to the awardees by mail right after this conference. I will now reveal the 4 names, and I will also read the summary of the motivations, which have been submitted together with the votes. And after that, the awardees will have the opportunity to say a few words. Let me see, we are 92 people sharing this pleasure today. And I also can see that the 4 awardees are here participating in this session. So the first Bioconductor Award 2020 goes to Helena Lucia Crowell from the University of Zurich.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Helena. I am sure all 92 people are very happy together with you. And I will now read the motivation for Helena to get this award. Helena has contributed to Bioconductor with 2 amazing packages, Catalyst and Muscat. Both packages have extraordinary usability and plots. In this context, she has directly enabled computational analysis from new technologies, scRNA-seq, and CytoF. She has contributed outstanding user support and engagement for her packages and workflow, as evidenced by the number of open and closed GitHub issues, for instance, in her Catalyst repository. Elena has also led a major update of the CytoF workflow on versions 3 and 4, which has been published and shared with the wider community via the open access journal F1000 Research. She writes clear documentation for her packages and is actively involved in the Bioconductor community. And what is not mentioned here is Helena is also a great piano player, and I already had the pleasure to listen to her at EMBL. So congratulations, Helena, and the floor is yours.
Hi, is this working?
Yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that those that know me probably know that Bioconductor really holds a dear place in my heart, both for my work, but also personally. I'm really grateful for the opportunities I've had and the amazing people I got to learn, to meet, and the things I got to learn through Bioconductor. So I really look forward to continuing to be a part of such a great community and contributing to it more in the future, hopefully. So for those reasons and many more, I can't think of an award I would be more happy to receive than one coming from the BioC community. And that all sounds really cheesy, but it's really just to say that this really means a lot to me. So thank you.
You are very welcome, and this is for sure a well-deserved award, Elena. Thanks for your kind words.
Thank you.
So the second award, the second Bioconductor Award 2020 goes to Aaron Loon from Genentech. Wow. Congratulations, Aaron. The motivation to give Aaron this award says, Aaron has been instrumental in developing and supporting a large number of highly influential and rapidly adopted Bioconductor packages over the past years. These packages span a broad range of application areas, from ChIP-seq and Hi-C to single-cell RNA-seq, where Aaron has developed or maintains many software packages, including Bachelor, Scran, Skater, Droplet Utils, and SingleR, as well as a workflow package. Moreover, Aaron has contributed important low-level infrastructure packages to Python integration and support of a wide collection of matrix formats, increasing the capabilities and making many heavy lifting steps possible directly within the Bioconductor ecosystem. In addition to package development, Aaron is extremely active on the support side and writes excellent documentation and easy to follow vignettes, enabling users to get the most out of his software. A recent highlight is the Orchestrating Single Cell Analysis online book, for which he wrote a large part. With his engagement and knowledge, he is a model for many aspiring Bioconductor developers, and regularly reaches out to engage and provide support and mentorship to new contributors, thereby growing the Bioconductor developer community. This is amazing. Congratulations, Aaron, and the floor is yours.
Thanks, Simone. Thanks, everyone. I don't usually think of myself as a model, so I better start working out. It's a great honor to get this award. It's great that I'll actually have a physical thing that I can show off to my boss every time we have a meeting. I don't usually get awards, so I don't know what to say here. Thanks to everyone who nominated me, and actually thanks to everyone who support me in the work that we do. And I think one of the real strengths of Bioconductor is the community that we build and how we can work together to achieve a common goal. And that's what I try to do basically, is to help people, and other people help me, and everything works out. So yeah.
Thanks very much, Aaron. I am sure it is a great pleasure for the entire Bioconductor community to work with you. The next Bioconductor Award 2020 goes to Laurie Shepherd from the Comprehensive Cancer, Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. Oh goodness, they changed their name. It's a very long. And Laurie is also a member of the Bioconductor core team. And I must say, she was the one I had the pleasure to interact most in the last years, and she also became a friend. So it's really a pleasure to present this award. Laurie, congratulations, and the floor is yours. Oh, sorry, I didn't read the motivation. Sorry, I got a bit nervous. Let's read the motivation. Laurie has provided outstanding contributions to Bioconductor on many different fronts. She has led the establishment of the Experiment Hub and BioC File Cache, which facilitate broader usage and access to experimental data in Bioconductor. She has also made major contributions to the project by leading the effort to update the support site, which is one of the main ways that users interact with Bioconductor, as well as by managing the single package builder and contributing to the ingestion and evaluation of new packages. In addition to the technical contributions, Laurie is very active in the Bioconductor community, including as a founding member of the Community Advisory Board, via social media outreach, and by showing a strong commitment to the organization of the annual Bioconductor conference. Congratulations, Laurie. Now it's your turn.
Thank you, Simona. I know when I joined Bioconductor, I never thought that it would take me to the places it has, or really allowed me to meet so many wonderful people that are involved with the project. And I know I personally feel that there's probably others that deserve this in front of me. So to all the other nominees, congratulations, and I have the utmost respect for everyone that works on the project. I know it's been challenging, but incredibly rewarding to be part of such a fantastic community that places such value on open source collaborative research. And I know I've told Martin a couple times that when I joined the project to work on it, I felt like it was a perfect fit, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm honored that the community feels like what I've contributed so far has been worthwhile. And I hope to continue it into the future and not to let you all down. And I guess thank you again for nominating and voting for me. It really means a lot and is really special. And enjoy the rest of BioC 2020. And I look forward to talking and meeting all of you at future Bioconductor events. So thank you.
Thank you, Laurie. Very nice. The fourth Bioconductor Award 2020 goes to Gordon Smith from the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute of Medical Research. Congratulations, Gordon. So you are the only one I don't know personally, but your motivation looks extremely impressive, and I'll read it now. Gordon Smith has been a cornerstone of Bioconductor for more than 15 years and serves as a model for how to contribute to the project and its community. He leads the development of Lima and EDGE-R, two fundamental Bioconductor packages for the analysis of gene expression data. These are the two most downloaded non-infrastructure software packages and have been cited over 11 and 15,000 times, respectively. The documentation for these packages has been developed such that they can be utilized by both experienced R users and novices, with detailed explanation of all major components. Via the support site, Gordon has helped generations of scientists to analyze microarray and RNA-seq data. His expertise in developing statistically rigorous methods and computationally efficient software is matched by his dedication to writing thorough technical documentation that is paired with user-friendly case studies and workflows. This documentation is augmented by his patient answering of more than 4,000 questions from users via the support site and other forums. He was the first Bioconductor developer to publish packages with book-length users' guides. Gordon's lab has contributed Bioconductor packages and pipelines for analyzing two-color microarrays and several other technologies. He has instilled in his students and colleagues an appreciation of Bioconductor as a software project and as a community that they feel welcome in and want to be part of. Wow, this is extremely inspiring. Congratulations, Gordon, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks very much, Simone, for that very generous citation. I'll assume that everybody can see me. So thanks very much for the Community Advisory Board and the organising committee for creating these awards. I think it's a great idea, and I hope you continue them into the future. Let's see, I've worked in bioinformatics for 19 years, and I've sort of coincided with the Bioconductor project that started just after I got into bioinformatics. And so it's really been quite a trip to see the project grow over all that time. It's a great achievement for the team to keep it going. Obviously, I want to thank all the members of my team, students and the postdocs, and then colleagues who have contributed to the projects. And since you guys were talking about Our Ladies, I will say that the Our Ladies Melbourne group has nearly 1,000 members, and it is organised by the bioinformaticians, and so it's heavily integrated with Bioconductor. In fact, in a way, Bioconductor has taken over R. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution to the project. So congratulations, everyone, again. Enjoy the conference.
Just 2 seconds, quick announcements. I've posted this in the conversations section of the platform. The lightning talks will be open for another few hours. So if you want to present a lightning talk on Thursday or Friday at 1 o'clock, in that session, please submit, complete the form online. The instructions are in the conversations. The poster session is open to go and view posters, and there's also discussion tables there where you can meet and chat with other participants. The F1000 channel is open where you can view the posters and also submit slides of your talks. And finally, the Bioconductor Slack is open if you want to talk there as well. So lots of ways to engage with other participants. See the conversations platform for all the links. Thank you. There was other questions that people asked in the polls. I'm going to copy those probably into Slack, or we can answer them in the polls here. We'll see.
Great. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks for a great session, and congrats on all the Bioconductor Award winners. Thanks for Simone and Charlotte for putting that together, and for everyone for voting and nominating people. Well done.